Today we're going to talk about whether you should use a barcode scanner for your next trial. So every once in a while, we'll get a request from a client asking them to train them on how to use a barcode scanner, set up a barcode scanner, or otherwise integrate a barcode scanner into their trial presentation routine. But what I always try to do is talk them out of it. In fact, this is the first barcode scanner that I've owned in over a decade, and I only bought it for the purpose of making this video because for whatever reason, it's been coming up again. I'm guessing that somewhere someone has been doing CLEs on how to master trial presentation, and they've been telling people how they do it, and they learned using a barcode scanner, and they haven't changed or updated their workflow in over 10 years, and so now people are asking me about barcodes. So here's how it generally works. Every page in Trial Director has a unique identifier. If you're doing it the way I recommend, it'll be something like, if you have JTXs, it'll be 001-001 for page 1, and so on. So every page has a unique ID, kind of like a bait stamp or a trial stamp. And what Trial Director can do is take each of those unique IDs and turn that unique ID into a barcode. And then from there, once you have the barcode, you can use those barcodes in a couple of ways. You can make a binder full of barcodes, so that way you can find any exhibit and page you want, shoot the barcode scanner at that one barcode, and up pops the exhibit. Or you can do it another way, and I'll show you how I recommend doing it, which is a little bit more tailored and makes a little bit more sense in 2019, although I'm still going to go over why that still probably isn't the best way of doing it. But here's how it works. So you got the barcode scanner, and what does a barcode scanner do? Let's take, for example, just a tin of Altoids or anything that you buy at the grocery store. They all have these UPC. I think universal product codes, something along those lines. And you've ever tried doing the self-checkout or had a grocery store checker have a problem with the barcode, they'll start typing in the numbers that are down there. And in fact, what that barcode is a digital way or a different language of typing out these exact numbers. And to show you, I'll open up a Word document real quick. So now we've got this Word document. And if I shoot this barcode scanner on it, the barcode on this says 229730. And what did I get? I got 0, because I forgot the 0 and the 9 at the head of it. 0239 0229 730 9 at the end, and a return at the end of it. And so that's also an important keystroke that it sends. So that's the exact same information that's written here is visually here, and the way that the barcode scanner works is it can do it very quickly. So I can use it for gum, mints, milk, other groceries, whatever you want. And it can type it in very quickly and without any errors. And so a lot of times if people are a little bit worried about fat fingering something or number pad mashing, they're somewhat inclined to look at the barcode scanner as a way of reducing the amount of error. So what you can do in Trial Director is generate those barcodes. And so let's just take our exhibit 1, for example. I'll do 2 exhibits. So I'll take the first 2 exhibits, and I'm going to hit the print icon. And I'll print it to Adobe PDF so you guys can see the output, but you can print it directly to paper if you want. And in this print what section, there's an item for barcode sheets. And I'm going to put the print range for all the selected items, the 2 exhibits that I selected, and hit print. And once that prints out, what that's going to do is for each page has its own unique ID. Let me get this. I have to save it something. So let's say 1 and 2, just for example's sake. So once I have those 2 things going, it's going to generate the barcode for each page and put them in a long list. So what I'm going to end up with is a couple of pages, and let's take a look at it now, of just barcodes. And what I could do is I could print that sheet out, and if I wanted to go to, say, JTX 001, the first page, I'd shoot the barcode scanner at that first barcode. If I wanted to go to, say, the last one, which is JTX 002-014, instead of having to type that, navigate to that, drag and drop it, or whatever, I could just shoot the barcode scanner at that barcode, and then it'll pop up in the center of the screen. Sounds great. But this is really difficult to use. These are just 2 exhibits, and already I've got 2 pages of barcodes, and visually it just gets my vertigo kind of working in overdrive, and I have a hard time looking at it. The other thing is, What if you have an extremely large case where you don't have 2 exhibits, but you have 2,000 exhibits? So then what you end up, and what I used to see about 10 years ago, is people would come in with their barcode scanner and an arm full of binders with nothing but barcode sheets and sheets and sheets of them. And whenever they wanted to go to a certain exhibit, the attorney would call out Exhibit 12, page 3, and they would flip through, and then they would get the barcode scanner out. You have to turn it on once to turn it on because these things fall asleep quickly, and then shoot it at the exhibit. It registers that it got or read a barcode correctly, and then it'll pump it out there for you. And so that's how that works. So that's the ultimate process. That's like the nuts and bolts of it. So here's a couple of ways that I think you can make it a little bit more useful rather than having that huge, gigantic binder, is by using workbooks. So here what I've done ahead of time is I've created a cross-example workbook, and in it I've put in a video clip that we're going to use as a video clip from a case involving an accident reconstruction. Here's another video clip from a different case involving YouTube video as evidence. We don't need to look at that. And then here's an exhibit, a document, JTX07. Here's an impeachment clip that I made from yet another different case. So I'm just kind of cobbling all these different exhibits together for the sake of variety. And then another exhibit, JTX10, from a different case. And so I've got all these different exhibits from a variety of places. And what I can do is I can, instead of printing a list of just bulk barcodes, I can go to print. And up here, I can go again and select barcodes, and I could select the print range being that workbook. And the cross example one, since that's the one I'm selected, that's the one that shows up. And once I do that, that'll show up as something that I can save. And once that's saved, then it'll show up here as this. And this is the sheet that I then printed out. And so now as I'm going through my outline and we're doing the cross-examination, I could see that, okay, we're going to talk about C0013, the edited version. I will shoot that and there, and then it'll pop up. Let me show you the presentation view so you can get a good look at it. All right, so now we've got our presentation window up, and what we can do is imagine we're in the middle of a cross, and let's say the attorney calls for C13, the edited version. I can just click on that, and it'll start playing. Without me having to drag and drop anything, I can then control it from here, come over to my mouse, pause it, rewind it, circle it, annotate it, and hit escape to clear it. You could probably, and then I hit escape to clear it. The next thing, let's say we want to go to CPX 58 or 358, which is that video. I can click on it, and then that video will start playing as well. Then let's say we're going to go to JTX7. Right? And then we're going to talk about this, go to the next page, which I could do by hitting page down, page down, page down. So there's lots of different ways I can go and navigate through the exhibit and manipulate it once it's up. I can do the callouts as I need to do them. So all that's nice and easy. And then let's say we're looking at JTX7 or we've moved on, and now the witness has said something that's inconsistent with a prior deposition statement. So we can start laying the foundation. You gave a deposition in this case, took an oath, and on that day you were asked these questions, you gave the following answers, and you could click on that, and without having to worry about any of the other normal stuff that you would normally have to worry about, which can be really difficult and cumbersome when you're trying to do a video impeachment. Sounds like it's all really great and works flawlessly, right? Maybe, but here's why I really try to convince everyone to not use the barcode scanner. And there's a couple of main reasons. One is because I just don't like the whole like supermarket shopper thing that goes on with using a barcode. It seems really weird to me because you're picking this up and then mousing over. So like once you get the exhibit up, I still have to go over to my mouse and use my 2 hands on my mouse. So now I've got like 2 things that I'm juggling between, which I think is really weird. I like staying here, 1 hand on the keyboard shortcuts, 1 hand on the mouse so that I can take care of everything that way. That's the way that I like to work. The other thing that's really weird about it is that the barcode scanner is beeping constantly. So this one has a pretty aggressive like self shut off. So it does that to save battery. You charge it up, there's a USB port in the bottom, and you can either connect it to your computer by that, or I'm using it wirelessly, but then you're using the battery. And so it's a pretty aggressive battery off kind of mechanism. And to its credit, this device comes with this little card and some instructions, which all the instructions and settings that you can change are in barcodes. So I can change it so that like the auto shutdown doesn't happen for 5 minutes or 30 minutes, which would be great. So that's fine, that would help. But for now, whenever I come back to shoot another barcode, the first time I shoot it, it wakes it up. It doesn't shoot anything. And it makes a beeping sound to wake it up if it isn't already woke it up. And then once I've shot it at something, kind of like when you put your phone underneath the thing when you get on an airplane, it makes a beeping sound. This makes a beeping sound, which is very helpful. And it lets you know that you have successfully read a barcode. But I don't really want to be doing all that beeping inside a courtroom. As it is, I try to be as incognito and out of the way as possible. I would love it if I could literally be a man behind a curtain in a courtroom. No attorneys or judge that I've worked with would ever let me do that. But that would be my ideal. So that way I don't get in the way of the exhibits and the examination. So having this is really cumbersome. Now, yes, there are also settings in here where I could turn off the beeps and take care of a lot of those things. And that makes it better, and that's unusual and unique about this particular device. It's in case you're wondering, it's a Tera barcode scanner. It works by wireless frequency, so there's a remote dongle, which I also like because that's going to increase range, or in a corded fashion. And so this one's unique. It's probably better than any of the other ones that I've tried, but you're still, at the end of the day, supermarket shopping for your exhibits, and I just don't like the way that looks. Especially because the shortcuts that it's supposed to provide, I don't think we need anymore, because we can employ a two-screen approach. Our computers are powerful enough to handle that with ease and then some. And so that's not a problem we need to have. And so all those same barcodes that we have in this cryptic hieroglyphic style of UPC symbols, I have them all at my fingertips right here in my workbook. So once you've made that workbook, you can click on this bar in the presentation preview, and you'll get a chance to see or select between your workbooks. And within that, you could see all the items that might be in a workbook. And the nice thing is, once you have the exhibit that you want next, similar to being able to visualize the barcode, you see it in here, you just hit that green button and up the exhibit goes. Let's pause that. The other thing is it automatically queues up the next item in the list. So unlike a barcode where you'd have to go in and figure out which one to go click, right here it says JTX007, page 1 is going to be the next one automatically up. I hit the space bar and that exhibit's already going to be up right away. And so there's a couple of other shortcuts, tools, and features that have now been built in to the laptop view of Trial Director that I think make the barcode completely unnecessary, particularly because once you have the exhibit up, you still need to do something with it. So you have to put this barcode scanner down and then go to the laptop anyway. So your hands have to move. So rather than holding this, finding room on your workspace for your laptop, your outline, your exhibits binder, and then also this thing, you could just have your laptop and your outline all in one place. Keep your hands planted on the mouse and the keyboard and just work that way. That's what I typically recommend. That's what I train all my people to do. And even for people that are going to be doing this entire thing by themselves, I still think that the better way to do it is to not worry about this. It's another point of failure, another thing that can get complicated where connection can get loose and it just becomes a little bit more unnecessarily difficult. So that's my take on barcode scanners. Let me know if you have any questions about any of that. I'll be happy to talk to you guys in the comments. I'd love to talk to you guys down there. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.